Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dissect corporate filings. So you don't have to. Today we are diving into a proxy statement from LCNB Corp, and trust me, after reading this you might actually understand what say on pay means for once ever we're talking about who's running the show, how much they are getting paid, and a shareholder proposal that could shake things up for this Ohio-based bank. Let's decode it. First things first, this is a preliminary proxy statement. Think of it as a rough draft before the big shareholder meeting where everyone gets to vote on important stuff. The meeting is scheduled for May 19th, 2025. Thestor LCNB is asking its shareholders to decide on a few key things. They will elect directors, hold an advisory vote on executive pay, meaning that it's non-binding, ratify their accounting firm, and vote on a new ownership incentive plan. Oh, and there's a shareholder proposal that is a fly in the ointment. Let's dive into the heart of the matter, the election of directors. T shareholders need to pick individuals for Class 2 director positions who will serve until the annual meeting in 2028. The nominees are Steve Foster, Anne Krebiel, Michael Jorend, and Takitha Lawson. The board really wants you to vote for them. Next up is the say on pay vote. Catered to this is where shareholders get to voice their opinion on how much the top executives are making. It's an advisory vote, so the board doesn't have to listen, but they usually do. The company wants Plante & Moran to remain their independent accounting firm for the current fiscal year. You might not think much about accountants, but they are the ones checking the books, so it's important to trust them. The board thinks they should stay. Now let's talk about the 2025 Ownership Incentive Plan. This plan is all about giving key employees a piece of the pie, which is 600,000 common shares. It's a way to motivate them and align their interests with the shareholders. The board is all for this too. Here is where it gets spicy. A shareholder, Philip Timian, wants the company to sell itself. He thinks shareholders would make more money if LCNB was sold for the highest price possible. The board is against the shareholder proposal. If you're wondering who is in charge of all of this, it is Eric Maelstrop, the president and CEO. He also urges shareholders to get their votes in and to call Alliance advisors if they have questions on the proposals. Basically, when you hand in your voting document, you can either give explicit instructions or you can rely on the board to do what they think is best. Without a given selection, the board will vote in line with their own recommendations. Also, you are not stuck to the decision you made when you hand it in. You can revoke it later if you change your mind. To make sure everyone votes, LCNB has hired Alliance advisors. They are getting paid $15,000 plus expenses to get shareholders to vote. Let's take a look at who owns what. BlackRock Inc. owns over 5% of LCNB's common shares. As for the executives, the directors and officers as a group own about 6% of the company. Epta too, so definitely have skin in the game. Now, let's zoom in on those Class 2 director nominees. There is Steve Foster, who used to be the president and CEO of LCNB. Anne Krebiel is an attorney, and the corporate secretary, Michael Jorend, is also an attorney with experience in real estate. And lastly, there is Takitha Lawson, who's a CFO with a background in corporate finance. The board took a look at all the directors to make sure that they could think for themselves without a conflict of interest. After that check, all but the CEO, Eric Maelstrop, Robert Bettinghouse, and William Kaufman were determined to be independent. It seems like LCNB uses the law firm Kaufman and Florence, and one of LCNB's directors, William Kaufman, used to be a partner there. The firm billed LCNB almost $100,000 for legal services during the last year. Let's see how much the independent registered public accounting firm is getting paid. Plante & Moran PLLC got $5,13,520 for their audit work. The company's named executive officers, or NEOs, can get paid extra with performance-based bonuses. For these execs to get bonuses, they have to achieve certain targets. The company performance was not great, which meant the NEOs did not get any bonus except for individual performances, which earned them a small amount. Now let's talk numbers. In the summary compensation table, we can see how much the top execs made in 2024. Eric Maelstrop, the CEO, made almost $600,000. Moving on to pay versus performance, we see that in 2024, the CEO's compensation actually went up, while the total shareholder return went down. It might cause you to raise an eyebrow, but we are in the year of crazy mergers and acquisitions, and those don't happen for free. The work must be paid for. Let's look at what all these employees are getting in addition to monetary rewards. The plan is made with the purposes of rewarding employees for their hard work, by letting them own parts of the company. Some rules and definitions are listed. And of note that the committee has the final decision-making power of who is rewarded when they are, and for what reason. Now, what's my take? LCNB is at a fork in the road. The shareholder proposal highlights a potential quick payday, but the board seems to be betting on long-term growth. The board is likely correct in dismissing it. Timian is focusing on returns of assets for many years. However, in the last 2 full fiscal years, shareholders have received 1.73 cents per share in dividend 6 per share in dividends, and from 2020 to 2026 has resulted in 56 per Fitz common shares. The 2025 Ownership Incentive Plan is an effort by the board to create incentives to follow its strategy. The real test will be if their latest acquisitions pay off. That's where shareholders need to pay attention. I would pay attention to that proxy letter in main 1. If the share values are going up, then everything is going great. If they aren't, a sale may be the best option after all. That's all for this episode of Corporate Decoder. Did you find this breakdown helpful? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights into the world of corporate filings.